Welcome to the RadioU podcast. Coming up, the TSA won't get to see your feet anymore.
Also, meet the best rescue swimmer ever for the U.S. Coast Guard, and he's a rookie.
All that and more on the way next. The sacrifices I make for this show are just ridiculous.
Not only that, I don't know if I would consider what you're currently talking about, which I already know.
Uh-huh.
A sacrifice,
It's a sacrifice.
Or a mistake.
Don't downplay what I've been through.
I think it was an honest mistake on your part.
We just did a food fight.
Yeah.
And it may have cost me my shorts. And these are great shorts.
Yeah, but it was on your. It was due to your own lack of being able to see.
Well, it was due. Here's what happened. We did a food fight here with the new spicy McMuffins from McDonald's.
Yes.
Coming up later, you'll hear that in the show. Then we still had more show to do. We got video for the show. I finished the sandwich. We can't have the food wrappers sitting out in the video. That would look ridiculous. If we posted that video, it would be unusable.
Yeah, sure.
And so I was like, I need to stash this, but we are not allowed to throw away food items in our garbage can in here in the studio either, because what if bugs come in the studio or something, or rats?
Yeah, we don't want to attract them, and we also just don't want the studio to start smelling bad.
Right. We only want to attract bugs to the kitchen. That's the only place they can be, the break room. And so I put them on this chair beside me until we were done the show. And then... but they were under the desk, so they couldn't be seen.
Yeah.
And then between times when we were talking, I forgot, and I pulled the chair over and sat down on it without looking. And so I sat in spicy McMuffin sauce.
All I heard was a crunch noise, and I was like, what was that? And then you were like, oh, no.
It was the McMuffin wrapper, which I guess even if I had like rolled it up,
yeah,
problem would have been solved. But because I just left it flat out and with sauce exposed, now the sauce on the back of my shorts, I went and tried to wash them.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look quite so much like I had a little bit of diarrhea escape. But it's still, now these shorts, they may never be the same again.
They may never heal. It's a sad, sad problem.
And these are good shorts.
They're nice.
They're like my favorite shorts.
Oh, they're your favorites.
Yeah.
I saw you wearing black shorts the other day. Those looked nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I think those should be your new favorites.
The black should be my go-to.
Yep.
Okay.
And the black
they go with a lot of
helped.
everything. Yeah.
If you had the black on, it probably would have shown less of a stain, maybe.
Probably, yeah. And those are different material. I think it would have just slicked right off.
Yeah.
Those are like moisture wicking. These are not.
Yeah, those are more like cloth.
Yeah.
Terry cloth or whatever. Sorry.
Another great pair of shorts. Not the first one I've lost.
To the show?
To the show.
What else?
I just mean I've gone through shorts in life.
What else happened?
No, nothing on the show.
Okay.
But it is crazy, actually. I have a lot of light shorts, like light-colored shorts.
You do.
And it is true that they seem to not have a very good shelf life with
me.
They show every single stain, and for some reason, the stains do not come out of those. I got to work on this.
Yeah.
And this is, you know what? I've made a sacrifice, but it also has... the mirror has turned back around at me, and now I realize the changes I need to make.
That's what I was trying to get you to see from the beginning. It was just an honest mistake. You didn't see it.
You know what we need?
What?
I think all of our problems could be solved with one simple addition to the studio.
What?
A trash chute.
Oh, where we can just send the trash to the kitchen trash can.
Or like the tubes they have at the bank sometimes. Where like an elf.
The vacuum thing.
Yeah, we should just have that, and then none of this would have happened.
Yep.
And
solved.
we'd have way more fun at work because we get to use the chute or the tube.
Yeah.
All right. I'll
send the trash down the tube.
I'll start talking to the powers that be and see if we can get that.
Okay.
Or at least maybe they'll get me new shorts. Stop me if this sounds familiar. The internet seems to be ganging up on a handful of women. 8772 Radio U. What I am gathering is the unpopular opinion here that a few women have shared is that if you agree to a date with them, you need to confirm it the morning of the date, like it's some kind of business meeting, or you don't get the date.
Oh.
So what's happening is gals are saying, they've agreed to a date. Then if the guy doesn't text them the morning of before, like some are saying, before 2 p.m., if it's not confirmed, then I'm out. And there's literally like screenshots of people where this is a guy on the receiving end of this. And he's like, I'm running a little late. I'll be there in 5 minutes. And the woman goes, oh, no, you didn't confirm this morning. I thought it wasn't happening, so I'm not there. We'll have to reschedule.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
But everybody the vast majority of people weighing in on this seem to be decisively in favor of the guys.
Yeah, seriously.
You already agreed to the date. Why do you need to reconfirm?
Yeah, you've already agreed to the date. I mean, I do like to get a confirmation text just so I'm not stood up, like that would not be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I feel like, it's if you're not planning to go to the date just because you didn't get a confirmation text, then maybe you should go ahead and reach out and just like, hey, just making sure we're still planning to have, lunch today or dinner tonight, whatever you end up doing. If you're worried about not getting a confirmation, then you need to be the one reaching out for the confirmation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
And there's two different, like, there's a vast difference between the plans where like, hey, let's meet up on Saturday, and we're meeting on Saturday at 7 p.m. at this place.
Right.
So if you have like a date, but you don't have details, then that's one thing.
Yeah.
But once you agree, time and place,
it should be on your
confirmed.
calendar.
That's confirming it. It doesn't matter which day you do it.
Exactly.
If you do it a week ahead of time.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully you guys would talk at some point in between then.
Right.
But to just be like, if it's not the day of, if he doesn't send me a text this day, why are you adding this extra dating is hard enough. Why do you need to add one more thing?
You're just giving another reason for you to remain single.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, you're making it even harder for yourself to find love if you're going to add this caveat. Like, that's just not cool.
Particularly for the guys, if they don't even know this is a rule with
right.
you.
Exactly. They had no idea that you had a before 2 p.m. rule.
We already decided to meet at McCormick and Schmick's on Saturday. I didn't need to know. I need to text you this morning as well. And now I'm sitting here alone.
Right.
It's wild to me.
It's just so that's just mean.
I just don't understand. Like, people have these hacks for dating or whatever. It's just making it's already hard enough.
Right.
We've talked to relationship experts here on the show. They say take the first date. Like, give people so much. The first date, you give so much leeway.
Yeah.
After that, you can start being harsh, but give people a chance at least.
Yes, like give them an opportunity and just see how it goes.
It's a miracle any of us are married. So obviously, it's been very sad to see the flooding that's been going on in Texas and all the lives lost from that. But in that situation, it's still amazing to see the heroes, the people that are willing, or it's their job, but either way, they made it their job to go save people there and do what they can to help as well. We got one guy in particular. This is so crazy. He's a rescue swimmer. He's from New Jersey, a member of the Coast Guard. His name is Petty Officer Scott Ruskan. This is his first ever time having to do rescue swimming.
Yeah.
He saved 165 people.
Absolutely insane. Homeland Security. I saw this post last night on Facebook scrolling through, and my feed has been filled with all sorts of updates from Texas. And you're absolutely right. Truly devastating, the stories that we're seeing come out of there right now. And we still don't even know the full total of what that looks like. But I saw this post from Homeland Security about Scott Ruskan, and I was like, I love to see this because, as you mentioned, in the midst of such tragedy, you do see people that step up. And, as you mentioned, it's his job. Like, he's a part of the Coast Guard. But still, first ever mission to go out and save 165 lives. He did deserve that post because that is
so clutch.
It's incredible. So, yeah, it's really awesome to see somebody step up and do this. And clearly this is what he was put on earth to do.
Hey, obviously the training too. They really got him ready.
Right.
They know what they're doing, and now they're out out there. They've been saving so many people. So shout out to this guy and everybody that's been out there doing what they can on the ground in Texas to make a difference. And I think this is also a reminder and encouragement to everybody to, even though you may not be able to go out there and help, or, that's just, I wouldn't be any help if I was there. I'd be in the way. They'd be like, please get out of here. But we can all do a donation, do something, find an organization to support. Obviously, the Red Cross is always a great option at a time like this, but there's so many that are not just this week too, that are gonna, because this recovery efforts are going to be involved
forever,
as well. So see what you can do to make a difference, and definitely shout out to Petty Officer Scott Ruskan. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
He's a rookie, but he came through 165 lives saved. That is unbelievable.
That story is going to be told about him for generations in his family. You know what I mean? It'll be like, Grandpa saved 165 people on his first ever mission.
And it's so crazy. That's one of those jobs, too. Like, it'd be so weird to go into that line of work to me, because you'd be thinking, like, well, like, literally, I hope I never have to work. I hope I never have to rescue anybody.
Yeah.
But he, from day one, the first mission, and the stakes are always going to be high, even if it's just one person's high stakes. But to come through with 165 individuals, that's so huge.
Absolutely incredible. So thank you to Scott Ruskan and all of the rescue and recovery effort people. They are doing an incredible job down there in Texas. But certainly our thoughts and prayers are with them and with the families that are being impacted by what happened.
Absolutely. The TSA is making a major rule change, and I think everybody's going to be pretty happy about this one. 8772 RadioU. You think after they forced, well, it wasn't really the TSA, but after everybody was forced to get a real ID to travel anywhere on a plane, like, we needed a win. Now, the win is not, I know what everybody's hoping, that now you can bring a full-size shampoo bottle in your carry-on.
No.
Nope, wrong. But it's the next best thing. Supposedly, now you will not have to take off your shoes to go through the TSA scanner.
Yes, and this is something that, if you were a senior citizen or a child under 12, you didn't have to do this. Or also, if you did the TSA pre-check, you didn't have to do this anymore. But now they're going to apply it to everybody with one caveat. You do need to have a real ID.
Yes. So that is now a reason to get a real ID. So you can keep your
it's a little incentive.
Keep your stinky feet inside your shoes and not have to go through that. Although, so what we always say, this should be everywhere now.
Yeah.
This should be the rule, but every airport always seems to have like one little quirk that they do differently.
Right.
But I was going to say, when I traveled by plane most recently, which was like a little over a month ago, at one of the two airports I had gone to, they didn't make you take off your shoes.
Okay.
I started taking off my shoes and they're like, oh, no, you don't need to do that.
You're good.
Yeah.
Well,
and it wasn't the one that frisked my crotch.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's good. In all honesty, though, I am a little bit worried that you will still get kind of a varying approach to this. And honestly, I don't think it's worth arguing with a TSA agent over. If the TSA agent asks me to take my shoes off, I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to sit there and be like, well, this is the rule now. Didn't you know that? Like, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to get stuck or get in trouble.
Does anybody know? Somebody must know this. You've done a lot of flying. If you wear flip-flops, I don't know, because I would never wear flip-flops to anywhere but the beach. If you wear flip-flops, do you still have to take them off prior to now?
I have never worn flip-flops on a plane. And partially because whenever I was flying internationally, like really far. And so, I would imagine domestically you could probably get away with it a little bit better. Like, if, let's say you've got a 2-hour flight or something, you could get away with wearing sandals. But if you're doing what I was doing, which was like 32 hours of flying, you don't want to wear flip-flops.
You don't? You don't want that feet freedom?
No, because it gets really cold on the plane.
That is true. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about how my feet would get cold.
Yeah, and even though they give you socks, it's nice to have like your own socks.
They give you socks?
They give you socks on those.
No, they do not.
On those like the 16-hour flights. They
Are
give
you
you
joking?
Socks. No, they do.
Excuse me, flight attendant. I'd like a pair of your finest socks,
No, they
please.
put them on your seat.
They just give socks to everybody.
British Airways would put them on your
That's crazy.
seat. They put socks on your seat. They put the little headphones on your seat and an eye mask for you to sleep better.
I feel like they don't do that anymore.
That may be true.
They probably took all that away, and it's an extra charge.
Yeah,
now.
COVID probably killed that.
Yeah, definitely. They're like, we can get away with only like 10% of people use these socks anyways.
Yeah, they'd give you a blanket too.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
I mean, as they should. Sometimes planes can be chilly.
They're so cold.
Yeah. Got a question for you. I'm going to open up the RadioU hotline for this one.
877-2-RADIO-U.
Is it wrong to leave a review for somewhere you've never been to? Let me give the context.
Okay.
I've been obsessed with the Ryan Trahan 50 Airbnbs in 50 States in 50 Days series on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
All to raise money for St. Jude. And I've been watching every day. One of the recent days, he had a situation where he went to this coffee shop. He needed some help because, it's a challenge to get to all these different states.
Yeah.
And the owner of the coffee shop helped him out pretty significantly.
Okay.
And since that video, that coffee shop has been review bombed with like 5-star reviews.
Oh.
So like good review bombed.
Okay.
Yeah, with 5-star reviews for helping him out from people that have never been to the coffee shop. Probably many of them never even been to the state the coffee shop is in.
Right.
But it's positive reviews.
Yeah.
But is that actually wrong to go ahead and give a review, even if it's positive, of a place that you've never actually gone to?
That's interesting. It's almost like they're giving a review of the guy.
Right.
Instead of the coffee and the shop itself.
Mm-hmm.
Which in one way I think is okay, but also if the coffee's really bad, could be quite misleading. Although if a guy's so nice, how could the coffee be bad?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I asked this question because I do think it's interesting, and me and Mrs. Hudson have already had a long discussion about this, so that's why I thought it'd be good for the show. But to me, I feel like this is actually fine.
Okay.
I'm on the side of... Now, of course, if it's negative, I feel like it's not different because I still think my reasoning would apply, but it would be seen much worse. Like people would be like, why are you leaving a 1-star review? You never even been there.
Right.
But for the 5, like if you're leaving nice reviews, to me, even if you haven't gone to this coffee shop, if you've watched this video, you've had an experience with it.
Yeah.
And you could go to that coffee shop and order one thing that nobody else ever orders and give it a 5-star review. And that doesn't really apply to the majority of the people that get coffee. Like you would go and you wouldn't get coffee.
Right.
You could still give it a 5-star review.
Yep.
So I feel like it's not that, like you're right. You're more reviewing the owner than the shop. Right. But I still think that's fair, right?
The owner seems to be a part of the overall experience, and when you're reviewing your experience with a restaurant, a place, a shop. So, as you pointed out, these people that are leaving reviews technically had an experience with this owner. So, and with the shops, even if it's not one that took place in person. So yeah, it's a little bit tricky there because as you pointed out, like if this owner had been horrible and they went and left, 1-star reviews, suddenly we'd be like, oh, that doesn't feel right. But when it's like leaving 5-star reviews, it's like, what's the harm in that?
Yeah. But I feel like if the person that owns a restaurant is like bad in some way.
Yeah.
As well, if you've had some experience with them of like, that guy, I don't know, he punched me in the face on the street or whatever. I feel like you'd still be justified to leave a 1-star review of that restaurant too.
Yeah.
I guess like you have something to say about the experience overall, even if it wasn't the actual food.
Yeah, you're just like the owner's a jerk or whatever.
Yeah. Regina says at 877-2-RADIO-U, I love that episode. I don't think it's right to leave a review for a place you've never been. What if everyone did it and it's not true whatsoever?
Yeah, and
how can we police that?
That's true. I feel like it probably happens more than we realize, where people leave reviews when they didn't actually try what they claimed they tried. But yeah, I think it's so tough. It's so tough.
We've talked. I feel like what we need to learn, and this is something I need to learn too, is to not take the reviews and definitely the score out of 5 on a place as gospel. Because you go and And I always check the reviews on places before I go there. But then, like the people, we talked about how people have wildly different ways of scoring, and they'll write a review that sounds so negative and then give it like 4 stars or vice versa. So you just everybody needs to calm down with how we view reviews. If you got a roommate debate, email mornings@radiou.com. We have a gal here who says, I live with 2 other people and we split all utilities equally, but each of us are responsible for one bill. It's a good way to do it, I think.
Hopefully.
We may find out otherwise. One of my roommates forgot to pay the water bill for 3 months.
Oh.
They're billed quarterly.
Okay.
Which I am as well, so I get that. So they forgot to pay one of the quarterly installments of the 3-month bill, and were charged $400 in interest, which doubles the cost of the bill. We are not notified about not paying the water company until our next bill came in. So that's 3 months worth of not paying.
Yeah.
3 months worth of interest. I don't think I should have to pay this late fee, but she just sent me a request for the payment. I had already asked her to try calling the water department to waive it since we'd never been late before. But she said they wouldn't waive it, explaining that it is an interest fee that cannot legally be waived.
Wow.
What should I do? Am I a bad roommate for not wanting to lend over $100 for a bill she is responsible for? She was panicking over the amount, which makes me think she can't afford it. But I'm not really in the position to pay double this month either. 8772 Radio U. Your roommate totally screwed up on paying the water bill. Now you've got a big interest fee, and she wants to split it among everybody. What do we do?
Oh, boy.
I don't like it.
It's tough.
I don't like it. 8772 Radio U. We need some really good advice on this one. Let us know if you've ever been through this before, if you have anything to help out. I think there's 2 parts to the question. One, should you, as like the roommate that didn't have anything to do with this, should you help pay? And 2, how do you stop this from happening again?
Yeah, that is a good question. And we heard from Jamie, which I think she's got some good advice here. She says, set reminders for when bills are due so there's no forgetting in quotation marks. The roommate needs to see if she can do a payment plan with the water company. If it's her bill, it's her responsibility. I think that's a great idea. And honestly, something I forgot that a lot of companies allow you to do. A lot of utility companies, they will allow you to come up with a payment plan. If it's a bill that's too large for you to pay in one lump sum, you can, sparse it out a little bit.
Yeah, that's a great idea, actually.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, since it's interest, somebody needs to front the money for this, whether it's all 3 of you or just the gal, if she can somehow afford it. But it's $400.
It's a lot of money.
And when you're talking about every other bill is split 3 ways, that means like $400, which they said is double, like that's equal to what the water bill is.
Right.
So that'd be a lot for one person to do.
Yep.
I have to imagine, given your situation. So the payment plan is an idea. Regina says companies waive fees all the time if it's your first time, so that roommate still needs to call. Absolutely, you should not be penalized for the missed bill she is responsible for. Going forward, perhaps payment confirmation should be printed off or emailed to each other to help everyone keep everybody accountable.
That's a good idea, yeah, to have everybody be on the email list together. I do have some, I guess, a practical situation where something similar happened to me, where I had an electricity bill that I was accountable for. Like, I was the person that was supposed to pay for it. And for me and my former roommate, and I was a couple days late on one. I didn't even ask her to try and pay for whatever the late fee, which was like $10 or whatever. But so I do think that the one roommate does need to take care of this, because this is the bill that she is responsible for. But that being said, it is a very large amount, as we pointed out. So I really like Jamie's idea of trying to see if there's a way to parse it out, to do a payment plan so that you don't have to pay that whole $400 amount all at once. But also, I don't want to throw this one roommate under the bus too much, because as you pointed out, it's a quarterly bill. So it's not like something you're doing on a regular basis. You're doing it 4 times a year. So that can be something where you forget about it.
Yeah.
And just
the water bill is the top one that I forget to pay.
Yeah,
because mine also comes every 3 months.
It's only every 3 months. So it's not on the top of your mind.
So I have a few solutions too, a few different ideas to add, but I also want to raise a flag on the idea that the interest would be $400 and that she didn't know, that nobody knew about this for 3 months. If she's like the one that set up paying the water and it's sent to her email, then I cannot imagine that over the last 3 months they didn't
send anything to her.
So I might want to raise a flag on that play. That said, I think you could... I think it wouldn't be the worst thing to go, okay, you were late this time. We'll split it this time. You totally owe me one. And if this happens again, we are not paying you.
No.
And maybe y'all need to switch who's paying what if she can't be trusted.
Right.
And furthermore, finally, last thing is maybe everybody has reminders for all the bills.
Yep.
Just so that everybody's keeping everybody accountable.
Yeah, you could just double check with the person that's supposed to pay electricity, the person that's supposed to pay the water bill. Just, hey, making sure you paid it, because, if you're sending them money and you think they're paying it and they're not, then that's not a great feeling to come back later and be like, well, where did our money go? You know?
I think Dylan says communication. If they couldn't afford it in the first place, just communicating that can sort a lot out.
Yeah.
I feel like she's the roommate that didn't pay is saying that by not saying that.
Pretty
by
much.
Going, can we split this?
Right. This is absolutely terrifying, Hudson. There is a TikTok showing this woman finding in her Airbnb bathroom a picture frame pointed at the shower that is actually a hidden camera.
Oh, this is still happening.
This is actually took place in Morocco, so it wasn't in the U.S., but still.
That's a relief.
Still not fun, though.
Yeah. Now I'm definitely not going to Morocco.
Not a great sign for Morocco.
Yeah.
But basically, this girl, she posted a TikTok showing this picture frame that had like this Yorkie puppy in it. Cute little black picture frame. Looks totally normal. But apparently, it had not been there on the first couple days of their trip. They were in Marrakesh, in Morocco, and suddenly this had appeared in their bathroom. So obviously it looked out of place. And then on further study of this picture frame, they found it to be actually a hidden camera.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly a hidden camera. There's no doubt about that. This is crazy because I know there's different rules around the world and around the country even about, like, generally in your own house, at least in the United States, technically, and the Airbnb is your house, you can, I mean, you own it, you can record in your own house. You're well within your rights now. But with Airbnb, I'm confident that you're not allowed to do that. And that doesn't matter what country or place you're in.
Yes.
And so it's crazy that this happened. And, like, those are pretty obvious rules, I think.
Right.
But can I say, and I'm not, because this is such a clear rule, I want to, like, push back on, like, did somebody actually do this, or is this all for views? You think it's possible? Did they just plant this? Yes, this is what I'm saying. Because I was going through, now she showed as proof that she gave it, like, that it had moved rooms. Okay. That she showed that before she had given a tour of the whole place and it was in a different room at first. But that, to me, doesn't disprove that you're the one who brought it and had this planned all along. Right. Because somebody having a hidden camera and then moving and then coming in while you're not there and moving it is a lot. Like, if they just had it in the bathroom in the first place, that's one thing. Yeah. The fact that they're coming in and moving things around and expecting you not to notice, that's a lot of me. Like, that's hard for me to believe. It's a little bit more of a stretch to believe that somebody came in and moved it. But yeah, I didn't see the follow-up of explaining that whole thing of, they initially did a tour, it was seen in a different room, and then it's been moved. I just thought it had shown up suddenly in the bathroom being like, oh, what's this? Which would still be crazy. Yeah, it would still be crazy. But, I mean, yeah, either way, it's an insane story. Yeah. So, but weirdly enough, I kind of hope she did plant it for views. Oh, yeah, definitely. So better than some
creep.
Yeah,
trying to,
and he's not even a good creep. He's as in like he's not even a discreet
he's not
creep.
Good at it.
He's bad at creeping. He's the worst creeper of all time.
Yeah, he's not good at it. But yeah, that is a good question though, because I feel like if you were traveling overseas, maybe you would bring a hidden camera, put it in your room just to make sure no one's sneaking in your room to steal something.
Yeah, seriously. So I mean, there's a lot of questions here. I'm sure she'll just get her refund either way, and blah blah blah. But and to be clear, this is not the first time Airbnb has rules, because this has been an issue in the past.
Yes,
which is fairly unsurprising. You let just anybody rent out a house. There's going to be some people that are going to rent out their house for, nefarious purposes and think they can get away with stuff. So,
or even just they are worried about their house getting trashed and not having evidence.
That's true as well. Now, this one was in the bathroom.
This one's in the bathroom, pointed at the shower. Not great. But I do know some people, they put like a doorbell camera on or something just to make sure that people are up to, they're not up to no good or whatever.
Yeah, they're not inviting other people over.
Yes.
The doorbell camera can even help people get in that need to get in.
Exactly.
So, yeah, you just, I don't know. I don't want to ruin everybody's Airbnb stay coming up by going, watch out for those cameras, because I feel, especially in the United States, we should be good on that.
Yeah.
But you never know.
You never know.
Just saw this news about a new place opening near RadioU Mansfield, Mansfield, Ohio, 92.5, in a town called Galion, Ohio. There's going to be a new horror museum that also features a restaurant they call Last Meal. Allie, you're a bit of our horror aficionado here on the show. And I think we both have a interesting fascination with like serial killers and stuff like that.
I certainly do.
And so this definitely feels like it is up our alley.
Yeah, this might be right up my alley. I might need to do a little deep dive in what killers are allowing you to have their last meals for, because I think that's such an interesting concept.
That's definitely the draw to me. So there's a museum there that opens on July 17th, which has, bones, taxidermy, haunted stuff, true crime stuff. Yeah, like it's a museum, and that's cool, and I'd be interested, and it doesn't sound like it's super expensive. But what I am interested in is going to a restaurant that serves the same last meals that notorious criminals and serial killers ate.
Right, because the last meals of many of them are pretty crazy. And so I'll be interested to see who exactly they do it for. And when you order it, it's going to be like, the Ted Bundy or whatever, what's it going to be? I'm assuming the meal will be called who ate it.
I think so. Yeah, you don't need to beat around the bush. Just give us the name of the person and let us see what they ate. I'll tell you, I'm not going to be ordering Jeffrey Dahmer's last meal.
Oh, no. We don't want anything associated with what he ate.
I can tell you that John Wayne Gacy's last meal is on the menu.
Okay.
That's the one I know.
He's the clown killer guy.
His is fried chicken and shrimp, strawberries, and French fries.
Which I believe he specifically had KFC.
So wait. I'm sure they're not serving KFC.
No, they're not serving KFC. They're serving fried chicken.
Which is good, because I'm sure theirs will be better than KFC. Also, though, it's also for a nice cause, because they say that a portion of profits from the restaurant support victim support foundations as well. So we
love to see that.
Yeah. Because there's always a little part of me, as much as I'm fascinated by true crime and serial killers, that makes me think like, yeah, but they had to kill people for me to be entertained by this.
Exactly. Like the fascination of it is very morbid in a way. And, like we recently did a Right Up My Alley about the unsolved, murders and unsolved cases that kind of enrapture our attention as a society, as a country. And it is really like, I don't want to give attention to these horrible people and these horrible crimes. So it's good that is taking off some of that pressure, giving money back to the victims, giving power back to the victims is how I view it.
And support for sure. There's a classic tweet I always think about, or somebody said, Netflix is paying somebody to do murders so they can make a show about it.
Honestly, oh my goodness,
it always
so
feels
sad.
that way to me.
I saw a meme yesterday and it made me crack up, because I was like, this is how bad our brains are now with like the true crime stuff. And it was like, imagine a girl skipping your episode of Forensic Files because your murder was too boring.
Yeah. Oh, no.
I was like, why am I worried about my murder being boring now?
Dang, that's so accurate.
So messed up.
All right, last question then, Allie, and people can chime in too at 8772 RadioU. What would your last meal be?
Ooh, what would it be? Ooh, I know off the bat.
Okay.
It would be manicotti.
Manicotti, that's a great choice.
I love manicotti. And no one serves it. Very few restaurants serve it. It's not actually easy to make.
No.
And so I feel like it's very rare to go into a restaurant, even some Italian restaurants, which is an Italian dish, and get it. Like, you can't get it at Olive Garden.
Imagine having manicotti for your last meal and it's not good.
Oh, that'd be really sad.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you can find a place that's gonna make it, that's gonna put it on their menu, they have some belief in themselves.
I love manicotti too. I can tell you, some people say this isn't real Italian because it's a chain, but Buca di Beppo does do manicotti, and it is good.
Yes. I have not been there in many, many years.
It makes me think, what if I went to a real Italian restaurant? I thought it'd probably be even better. I would, if I'm going out in my last meal, all the rules go out the window.
Okay.
I might be like you. I might do some manicotti or something like that, paired with like barbecue brisket.
Right. You just get a little bit of everything.
Yeah. The rules are done at that point.
Right.
On the menu today, McDonald's brand new spicy McMuffins. These just technically got added to the menu today where you can order them. I have the spicy egg McMuffin, which is the classic, it's and you have the spicy sausage and egg McMuffin.
Yep.
The only thing actually different about these than if you just got a regular sausage McMuffin is that they have the same spicy sauce that's on the spicy McCrispy sandwich you get during the day.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, they've just added some spice to their regular breakfast menu. But we talked about this. Was that yesterday that we talked about this? How they were bringing this out, and we were so excited to try it.
Yeah, it is exciting. I am it doesn't make sense how excited I am for these. I think it's partly because the normal sandwich is just so good.
Yeah, the normal, you go ahead and try it.
Yeah.
The normal McMuffin is so good.
What are we rating these on? Like, what are we looking for here?
I mean, I'm just looking
Taste?
for... Yeah,
Okay,
I'm just looking for it to be good.
Okay.
And honestly, I've been doing this challenge of not eating out for the whole, month of July. That's my plan, which is not a health thing. It's a money thing. Just trying to save some extra money by not eating out. And so I like that I can kind of break this, but not really because it wasn't me that paid for this.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, yeah, you're good.
This is my way to skirt around it.
It'd be rude for you to not eat them.
Exactly.
First thoughts. Surprisingly spicy. I guess I've not had the spicy McCrispy sandwich. I haven't had this sauce before. Much saucier than I was expecting. Much spicier sauce than I was expecting.
Much saucier.
Yeah. It is really saucy, though. I got it all over my face. I'm wiping down
you
here.
You did have it, like, on your beard.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the hazards of having a beard.
Decent amount of spice, a decent kick to it, for sure.
I guess, so just based off of taste alone, you score these one way, and then I guess we would score them on, are they an improvement over the standard version? So on taste alone, 1 to 10, where are we?
I'd say I'm at like a 6. It's all right. It can deal as a breakfast sandwich, but honestly, I'm okay with the regular one.
Yeah.
The spice adds some fun to it, but it's also like, it's making me think it's not breakfast. It's making me think it's like dinner or something. So, but I still think it's good. I don't think I'm not going to finish this. I'm definitely going to finish this.
I feel like I want to give it a high score because even though I'm not sure that, like, in the world of spicy sauces, this isn't my favorite for taste on the spicy sauce.
Yeah.
But I just like having this kind of intense start to the day.
Yeah, it is quite intense. It's a little bit more spicier than I realized it would be, but it's not too spicy for me to not be able to finish it. I'm usually not a high tolerance person when it comes to spice, so I'm actually surprised that I really do like this.
Yeah, I thought you'd be sweating. After I took the first bite, I'm like, whoa, this is spicier than I was really bargaining for.
Yeah, it was, but I'm glad you gave me that warning. But I'm not nay.
Yeah,
I can handle some spice.
I'm well pleased with this. The real question we should ask at the end of every food fight is, would we order this again? And I would, on the right day. There's so many good breakfast choices at McDonald's. that there's a lot of good options and it's hard to choose just one, but this would be in the list of options I would pay for.
All right.
McDonald's, well done. Thumbs up. Jake Paul may have found his next boxing opponent. 8772 Radio U. I know we keep saying we're not going to keep falling for this.
But we do.
But I'm going to keep falling for this.
Every single time that there's some rumor put out there, we're going to talk about it.
I love this rumor, though. It's not a rumor. It's a challenge.
Okay.
Jake Paul has been challenged by none other than Butterbean.
Excuse my ignorance, but who in the world is Butterbean?
Butterbean, I feel like he might be best known for being in like the Johnny Knoxville movies back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm either going to sound very young or very old by asking that question.
No, he is older. He's been around for a long time. He's 58 years old. His real name is Eric Esch. I believe he's around the same age as Mike Tyson.
I feel like we've been talking a lot about how Jake Paul just continually fights people that he pulls out of retirement.
Uh-huh.
That's not going to help him here if he fights Butterbean.
It's not going to help him if Butterbean knocks him out like he says he's going to either.
Can Butterbean do that? I mean, he is a big guy.
He's huge.
Yeah.
I feel like, and he says that like he was on Ariel Helwani's Uncrowned show. And he says, I want to fight Jake so bad. When I was in my wheelchair, Jake said some nasty stuff about me. When I started getting healthy again, I'm going, you know what? I'm going to push myself until I'm able to knock him out. And guess what? I'm here. Butterbean's ready to go. Jake Paul, where are you?
Butterbean doesn't look as good as he did back in the day, I gotta say. I think he'd be pretty cooked if he tried to fight Jake Paul.
But the thing is, we don't even know because Jake Paul has never actually fought anybody real.
That's true. That's true. But you can't deny that Jake Paul's in good shape. He is in good shape. He's going to be able to move better than Butterbean.
And I feel like he can take a punch.
Yes.
But Butterbean can give punches as good as anybody.
Can he? I mean, I'm a little nervous about just looking at this interview clip. I'm like, he's looking more like Grandpa now, Grandpa Butterbean than Butterbean back in the day.
Which would make it even more fun if he knocks out Jake Paul.
Oh, it would. I wanted Mike Tyson to knock him out, believe me, but it just didn't happen. And so I don't know if that would happen in this fight either. And I just think it's not something that would be beneficial for Jake Paul. And I don't think Jake Paul does anything that's not beneficial for him.
Yeah, that's true. He's going to take on some other guy that the average person hasn't probably heard of that used to box.
Yeah.
And probably beat him in a decision.
Yep.
And continue rising up the rankings for no good reason.
Yeah, for literally no reason at all. So, yeah, I'm still going to stick with my my concept of like, I kind of respect you, Jake Paul, because you seem like an okay fighter, but I will not fully respect you until you fight somebody that's actually actively boxing.
Yeah, I feel like I may not ever respect him, but if it's going to be these fake shams of fights, they should at least be entertaining. I mean, and him fighting Butterbean would be entertaining.
That's fair. Yeah, I do feel like there has been some entertainment with his previous fights, but when I refer to respect, it's more of like a respect of like, please don't come after me, Jake Paul. That's kind of where my respect is at right now.
Yeah. AMC has a new deal making it more affordable to go to the movies this summer. 8772 Radio U. Or does it? AMC, starting today, they have a new deal. You do have to be a Stubbs member, but it's free to sign up. 50% off, and I believe this is for all movies.
Okay.
They also do this on Wednesdays, but this is 50% off of any movie. There are extra charges for IMAX or 3D, like those would be more expensive, but it's still 50% off. But this replaces $5 Tuesdays.
They're getting rid of $5 Tuesday?
But instead, everything is 50% off.
But you have to be a member.
You do have to be a member, but it's free.
Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, but you still have to sign up.
Yeah,
because
you do have to sign
$5
up.
Tuesday applied to anybody, whether you had the membership or not.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That is a staple of movie theaters to have a discount on Tuesday.
Some of them don't do that anymore and haven't in a long time, which is why I'm very loyal to the one that I do, which is $6 Tuesdays.
I was going to say, the one I go to is $6. It's Marcus Theaters.
Yeah, we both love Marcus.
Yeah.
But AMC is, I don't know. This is so debatable because especially if you prefer or you at least want the option to go see IMAX or 3D, this is obviously much better for you because those weren't $5 at all.
No.
But you do get the 50% off discount. But
you're never going to get $50. You're never going to get $5 because the tickets are always going to be more.
Yeah.
So even a 50% off, I think the cheapest you'd be getting is like $7.
But now you have 2 days too to choose from instead of just being forced to go on Tuesday.
Yeah,
maybe Wednesday is better for you.
I mean,
you personally, just like anybody.
I don't know. I do feel like it is nice to not have to worry about like the crowds on a Tuesday because sometimes the crowds can get a lot on Tuesdays, especially if you're going to see a new movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I never felt like it got out of hand where I'd be like, I'm never doing this again.
It has to be a really popular movie.
Right. So I'm not a fan. I mean, I'm a fan of this, but I'm not a fan of them getting rid of the discount on Tuesdays. I think that should be a thing theaters should continue to do.
I'll tell you what, I think that they knew they couldn't keep doing the $5 Tuesdays.
They can't afford it.
And they couldn't just take that away because people would be upset. I think there's a lot of people that, I mean, I don't never go to the movies that's not on a Tuesday for the $6 deal. But
for the most part, it's
if
a
it
Tuesday.
wasn't for the $6 Tuesday deal, I would go way less often.
Yes.
And, theaters need people like me. I'll say it. They need each and every one of us.
Exactly. They really, really do because I'm the one person that, I'll go on a Tuesday for the discounted tickets, but I'll still buy the popcorn because I don't believe in going to a movie and not getting popcorn. I love popcorn, as we've talked about many times. Yep. So I do support the theater in that way. But I don't know. I feel like it's such, for me at this point, ingrained in my nature to have that Tuesday discount.
Yeah.
That I'm like, it hurts to not have it.
It's still a discount. It's just not.
It's not as
discounted to $5. But you'll be happy to know that they're also additionally adding additional discounts to their small popcorn and drink combo on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Their small popcorn, which is like the size of your 8-ounce cup or something. It's so tiny.
It's like 6 kernels.
It feels
it's
like
not enough. Not enough. What is bathroom camping? 8772 RadioU, a new trend going around on TikTok. Not necessarily new because it's something new people are doing, but people are just giving a new name to it. Bathroom camping is where you go to the bathroom not because where you go into a bathroom.
Yeah.
Not because you need to use the bathroom, not because you need to go potty, but because you need a break.
Oh.
Yeah. You just need space in there for whatever reason you so choose. A lot of people feel like they're just doing it to think or whatever. Some apparently in some cases it can be a bit of a trauma response for people that have different issues. So
interesting.
Either way, bathroom camping is something that people are going around talking about more on their TikToks.
Okay. I don't think I've ever done this. Also, I live alone. So
You don't do it at work?
No.
Work is prime bathroom camping territory.
Why would you waste time in the bathroom, though?
It's not a waste.
But you have an office to yourself.
I know.
What's the point of going to the bathroom
sometimes
to
you
be
just
alone?
you just need to disconnect,
I mean, okay, but disconnect from what exactly?
Screens.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no screens. People say here in the bathroom, there's no screens unless you get your phone out.
I was going to say, doesn't a lot of people take their phones into the bathroom now?
Yeah, there's no windows. There's no stimulation. There's one guy says it's just me and me.
It's me and me. Some people aren't happy with just me and me. They don't want to be near me and me.
I feel like, but isn't it true though that in your day-to-day life, it can also be hard to find time for just you?
Yeah. I would imagine if you have kids, it'd be.
This is what I was going to say. I think parents invented this.
Oh, yeah.
My mom, there was 4 of us. She was bathroom camping all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if my parents ever tried this, but yeah, I think it certainly is a thing. I remember my mom would take bubble baths.
Uh-huh.
That's a form
That's
of...
taking it to another level.
Yeah, well, those are the best type of bathroom camping because bubble baths are relaxing and no one's going to be like, what's taking you so long? We know why you're hanging out in there. It's nice in there.
Relaxing.
Yeah.
But the bathroom, you don't have to have a bubble bath for it to be relaxing.
Apparently not.
For you to be able to de-stress a little bit.
Apparently not. You can just chillax in the bathroom on your phone or whatever. There is some really funny like TikToks and reels of one where it was like, this lady was like, I don't know when my husband's going to come back from the bathroom because he's going in with like his Nintendo Switch.
Oh, no.
It's like he's going to be gone for hours.
That is true. The ratio of time I spend in the bathroom, actually going to the bathroom versus whatever I started doing on my phone in there.
Yeah.
It's pretty, like, it's definitely more than 50-50 phone stuff.
Yeah, you definitely shouldn't take your phone in there because you will find yourself camping in the bathroom.
You get games going on there. You start watching TikToks or reading Twitter, whatever it is, scrolling Instagram, and all of a sudden your legs have fallen asleep.
Yeah, you're like, why have I been sitting on the toilet for this long?
And now I can't get up because my legs are asleep. So I have to stay in here even longer.
No.
But I don't blame anybody for bathroom camping. I mean, everything in moderation, but I totally get it.
But also, if you've ever talked to a young mom that has young kids before, you'll know this. Bathroom camping has to be incredibly hard because kids will follow you into the bathroom.
Even you can't camp in the bathroom either.
Yeah, sometimes even if you lock the door, they'll find a way in. So,
well, if they can do that, they're old enough to take care of themselves.
Thanks for listening to the RadioU podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.